All right, guys. So I watched episode 4. Was it 4? I think it was 4, right? Yeah, it was episode 4. And I thought it was a pretty giggity gish ding dang gosh darn good episode. Do you agree? If you don't, you're wrong. So what I find just so interesting about the show at this point is that it I it really is like what the rumors were, right? Like the rumors that everybody was worried about was that it was going to be a show that doesn't include Foggy and Karen. Uh, that kind of feels like more of a legal procedural in a lot of ways, and that and where Matt doesn't get into the suit for like the first half of the season. And that's kind of what's happening here. Like that is largely the plot. I the more that I watch it, it's like I don't think that this show was like completely overhauled as much as I think they added the first episode in order to properly get us invested, into the premise of the show. Because I think that that Foggy was going to get killed off screen, which I don't think that would have gone over well, to be fair. But I've also been listening to interviews with the directors, and like apparently like the Hector Ayala stuff, like those 2 episodes are largely just the 2 episodes that we would have seen in the original airing of the show. So like the more I watch this, I don't think that the original like concept of the show, I don't think it would have been bad as much as it just wouldn't have been like, I just think it would have felt weird. Especially when you take into account the fact that it originally wasn't going to be canonically the same as the Netflix show. I don't think it would have been bad as much as we just would have been like watching it going like, why would you do this? um so yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I would honestly love to watch the original version of the show just to see what all the changes are. But either way, even though they didn't, even though like we're technically getting all of the stuff that a lot of people were worried about, because like we still have not see we're 4 episodes in. Matt has not become Daredevil again. I'm still really enjoying the show, so let's get into it. We start off with Angela Ayala, her White Tiger's niece. So she has this big emotional thing where she's demanding to see the body, and then she starts venting to Matt and whatnot. Very good scene, very good little kid actor. So I used to watch Ultimate Spider-Man where White Tiger was a girl. So, and I kind of like I tried to Google a little bit. So apparently the White Tiger in Ultimate Spider-Man I think was Ava. Her name was Ava, not Angela. And I think Ava is like the brother of Hector or the sister of Hector in the comics, and Angela is their niece. But I think they all at some point take up the mantle. So in any case, I don't know. Listen, who the hell knows if any of this is actually going to come to fruition, but I think that what they're kind of teasing here is that Angela will at some point take up the mantle of White Tiger. I think that's what's being angled here. Now, is that going to happen in Daredevil? Are they kind of like setting her up for like Young Avengers or something, which is a rumored like Disney Plus show? Like that's entirely possible. And also like, listen, dude, kids, I have no idea like what to think of kids anymore. Like I look at this person, she could be like 10 or 11, or she could be like 15 or 16. I don't know. Like kids just look the same to me. I don't know if it's like a thing of getting older. I'm 25. But like I look at kids and they all just look the fucking same to me. So it's just like a weird thing where it was like, if she's like 10 or 11, it's like, okay, well, they're not gonna they're not reasonably gonna be setting her up to take up the mantle anytime soon. But if she's like 15 or 16, then yeah, like by the time they get around to doing Young Avengers, she might be like 17 or 18. And like, you know, if you look at like the Stranger Things kids, it's like 2 seasons in, they already looked like they were paying off their fucking mortgages. So I'm just saying, like, they could or they couldn't have her be White Tiger at some point. Who the hell knows? Anyways, I did not mean to go into all of that for that long. But yeah, either way, very good scene. You know, just kind of continuing to essentially put the pressure on Matt to become Daredevil again, because he's just like he's really like, she's essentially telling him like, the system sucks shit. Look at where it left my uncle. We did everything right. Like, we won the case. The system sucks. You know, they're not gonna put a ton of effort into finding out who did this, because obviously like the police already don't like him. And it's just like everything is like putting all the pressure on Matt to put back on the Daredevil costume and do his thing. So very good scene. Anyways, we also see get some more of Muse. He's carrying the body. I've purposely tried not to look up too much about Muse. The only thing I know is that he's like an artist and he like paints with the blood of his victims, because he's also a serial killer. But I don't know like what exactly his deal is. I don't know like why he does what he does. I don't know if he has some kind of overarching philosophy. I don't know, but I am very curious to find out. I'm also kind of curious to see what the aftermath of all this is going to be, because I don't remember his name, but the fucking kid guy character here on the right, he basically lets it spill that that Fisk is like wanting to, I don't even remember, what was it again? He's wanting to like do something with garbage. I'm gonna be honest, I totally forgot, but I think it's essentially like union, like he's wanting to like fuck with unions in the city. I'm gonna be honest, I just totally forgot exactly what his plan was. But either way, fucking Urich's niece was like, I know I'm in a relationship with you, but you're a fucking moron and you just keep on like telling me stuff that I feel obligated to report on because I'm a reporter. And so she writes this big expose. So I am curious to see what friction is going to come with this relationship. So we'll see. I will say this is the most interesting that this storyline has been, with like Vanessa and Fisk. Like, what exact, like, I don't know, like I haven't really cared that much about them, but I feel like we're finally like reaching some kind of point where they're gonna actually have like real conversations with each other, and you know, like we're finally figuring out like what's going on with this Adam guy. I feel like their psychiatrist, Matt's love interest, is like finally sort of getting to the root of it all. So I'm becoming more invested in it. Still not like my favorite storyline or anything like that, but I'm not as just like jaded by it as I have been in the previous episodes. I really like this character, Leroy. You know, it's just kind of like another one of those characters that just like highlights just like the problems with the system and the outcomes that come of it, where it's like, and I really like the way the show handled it, because they didn't paint him as this like super like nice guy, right? Like he's a poor guy that stole some cereals, or not cereal, popcorn, and it's like he's not nice. In fact, he's kind of an asshole to Matt. He's like making fun of him for being blind and stuff. And it's like I feel like the show doesn't necessarily go like too far into like totally just portraying him as like this completely sympathetic character. Because at the end of the day, he did steal something, but it is, I think, just like a really well done way of showing a guy that is down on his luck, in part because of the prison system, where it's like he was put in jail beforehand, which I guess caused or like gave the state the ability to like take away his food stamps, which then when he was released, he was poor obviously, and it was hard for him to afford food, and he was fine. He kind of finally got to the point where he was like, I want some kind of dessert, and so he stole the fucking popcorn, which is then putting him back in prison, which is then gonna cause him to take away his food stamps again. And it's just like it was just a really nice way of having of like showing Matt grappling with the system that he's really trying to like root for and work for, but it just kind of keeps on slapping him in the face, making him want to be Daredevil again. So I really really like that storyline as well. I will say, listen, I understand that Matt is a natural Rizzler. You know what I mean? Is risen up everything that moves. But it's also like, brother, you're in like an actual relationship right now. And I get it, it could just be banter and whatnot, but I don't know. If he knew that his girlfriend was in the room watching this situation, would it have played out exactly as it did? Probably not. That's all I'm saying, Matthew. Watch yourself. Although, I mean, he was also just doing his job because, like, he did manage to get a lesser sentence for Leroy. Really like this scene too, where like this cop guy, clearly he's corrupt, right? Like he's clearly up to no good. Then that's why he was interrogating the guy in the second episode, right? Yeah, it was in the second episode. But like, apparently he didn't kill Hector, right? He wasn't involved in it because Matt could hear his heartbeat, and we are Matt, so we could also hear that heartbeat because of the sound design of the episode. Yeah, I think that was an interesting thing, right? I think I kind of just assumed that he at least knows about it, right? Like he might not have been the one to do it, but like he's involved in the scheme and the plot, but apparently he's not. So we'll see where that goes, because it's not the Punisher, it's not this guy. I don't know. Have we met another character that it could be? I mean, maybe it was Muse. I don't know. It's just like usually in one of these situations, it's like it's usually a character that we've seen before. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Interesting stuff. I actually really like seeing Fisk like struggle with bureaucracy. And like I think, is her name Sheila? His manager woman. She's just like constantly being like, no, you can't do that, because in order to do that, you have to do this, and before you can do that, you got to do this. And it's just like the chore of having to deal with politics and everything that comes with it, having to listen to shitty ass fucking choirs. I thought that was actually kind of hilarious. So yeah, I really like seeing Fisk just growing more and more jaded with politics, similarly to how Matt is growing more and more jaded with the system. And we're eventually going to see both of these men explode, aren't we? Whoa! Ho-ho, that's not what I meant. Or was it? I really like this scene where like the kid, he like confesses to being a moron and spilling the secrets. And then Fisk was like all angry. But then the kid he like knelt down. It was like really weird. He like got on his knees and he just started guzzling buckets and buckets of Fisk's cum. Literally worshiping and praising the ground that he walked on. And Fisk was like, I think kind of weirded out, but also like, hey, I can manipulate this kid. So we'll see where that goes. I don't know. I suspect a similar situation to the Penguin is all I'm gonna say. I don't know what to think of this scene. On the one hand, kind of cool that Matt is like using this weird glass bottle to like track the bullet casing, but also, does it really make sense? Not really. But you know what? I think I'm okay with that. Incredible scene with the Punisher, obviously. Like, come on. Like, Charlie Cox and John Bernthal are so fucking good together. And one of the great things about the Punisher is how smart he is. You know, at least in like the Netflix adaptation. I'm not too familiar with other adaptations, but like it's like he's not crazy, right? He just kind of like, well, I don't want to be clear. I do not condone any of his actions, but like he has like a coherent philosophy, right? And he has he kind of just like sees in his brain, he just like sees the world for what it is. Um, and so I really do like that. There is no bullshitting with him. There is no like Matt is kind of trying to go there to try to like. I think the reason why he went there is because he wants to like instead of him going after the corrupt cops, I think he kind of wanted Punisher to do it for him. And I think he maybe thought that seeing them like using his branding or something would maybe make Punisher mad or anything. But like Punisher is actually like way too smart to be manipulated like that, where he's like he just like immediately sees through Matt and essentially has a little therapy session with him. And it's just like a fantastic scene. Like genuinely fantastic stuff. Like seeing Matt like like visibly express that he still blames himself for Foggy. Um yeah, I just really good stuff. uh Interesting that he's living with his girlfriend. I don't think they confirmed this in any of the previous episodes. How exactly is he going to keep this a secret from her? Because you have to assume that. Well, yeah, I mean, we know in the season he is going to put on the Daredevil suit at some point. I wonder how he's possibly going to be like. I don't know, like she's gonna wake up to take a piss and she's gonna be like, "Where's Matthew?" So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But we finally get confirmation as to what happened with Adam. He is in a jail cell. that's what's going on with him. And Fisk is not actually on a diet, I guess. He's just like filling himself up in private with Adam. So that's not cool. I do not approve of this, I will say. But yeah, it's like this is obviously a parallel with Matt training on the rooftop. They're both like I think they both genuinely want to try to lead like a cleaner life. Like I do think that Fisk wants to be a good mayor. I think that Matt wants to just be a lawyer and not go back to daredeviling, but I think they're both coming to the realization that it's just not who they are. They are Daredevil. They are Kingpin. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna have to wait long to see them suit up again. Matt literally, Fisk metaphorically. And then yeah, we end the episode with Muse sucking up that blood from his victim, sucking up the blood. I guess we'll have to learn more about him in the future. But yeah, either way, really great episode, really good stuff. Really enjoying the show so far. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.